about yourself. Where are you from? What and where did you study?
Okay, thank you so much, Hanga. I'm Karoney Edwin. I'm Kenyan by nationality. Academic background, I did almost everything back in Kenya, from primary school, secondary school, and BSc as well as MSc in Kenya. My BSc I did in a university called Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. I also did MSc in the same university. That was MSc in crop protection. And currently a PhD in plant pathology at the University of Pretoria.
What sparked your interest in your field of study?
I always call myself, I'm a village boy. I was raised in the village where we used to do subsistence farming. And we used to help our parents do weeding, all types of cultivation. And during that time, I could see some of the plants were diseased, some of the plants were having pests and so on and all that. So that's where my interest grew. And when I joined Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology for a BSc in Agriculture and Biotechnology, we also used to do quite a number of field trials, visits to the farms, and I could see the same thing. And that's when I think my interests were I got highly motivated to do what I'm doing currently. Because from there, you know, when you're doing MSc, it's general. But because of that, I got to narrow down to plant pathology because I found interest in dealing with plant diseases as well as pests.
Who would you say are your inspirations in your field of study? Who has influenced your work?
There are quite a number of people who have influenced me, but today I'll just mention two. The first one, I'll say my MSc supervisor, Dr. Dennis Ochieno. He's one person, he taught me when I was doing BSc, and after that, I think he saw the capability in me, and he told me that you can do this, and you should actually major you should actually major in crop diseases and all that. That's why I'm doing plant pathology today. Another person I can say who has influenced me is Prof. Lise Korsten. And I'll tell you a very interesting story of how I got to the University of Pretoria. Initially, I didn't know Prof. Lise Korsten, but I got to know Prof. Lise Korsten when I applied. There's someone who posted something on our group, that is the Entomological Society of Kenya, where I'm a member. I was a student member then, I'm still a student member currently. So someone posted something on the group, and it was a PhD post. So they wanted a student who will help them do something. It was not in my field, but I just told myself, let me just write to this person, explain to him who I am, my qualification, and what I want to pursue. 2 weeks later, I got an email from Prof. Lise Korsten. Mark you, this is a different person from whom I did the application to, or I did email to. So Prof. Korsten emailed me. She asked me of my CV. I did send her. After that, she asked for my publication. I also forwarded my publication. And after that, she forwarded me some links. It was scholarship links from the University of Pretoria. Unfortunately, the links that she forwarded to me, they needed someone native from South Africa. So which means I couldn't qualify for those ones. But still, out of curiosity, I just went to the University of Pretoria website. And that's when I saw the UP Commonwealth Scholarship. I did a scanning and I could see I had all the requirements that they were asking. So I forwarded that to Prof. And Prof really supported me. She said that she will be my supervisor because, you know, when you're applying all these things, you need to have a supervisor already in the university that you're applying for. So Prof. Lise Korsten was ready to be my sponsor. She even wrote a recommendation for me. That's why I'm here today, thanks to Prof. Lise Korsten.
Can you share a memorable moment or a breakthrough moment in your career?
Yeah, I'll say there are quite a number of breakthroughs, and one of the breakthrough is actually having a chance to win some of the grants, some of the scholarship that have actually assisted me to achieve what I've achieved today. Back in Kenya when I was doing MSc, I didn't have any funding, and not all the universities are privileged like what we are privileged to have here, where you get a lot of funding and all that. On the other side, you have to pay for your own school fees, you have to pay for your own research and all that. Luckily, my supervisor was helping me then to do when it comes to the research part, but I had to look for my own school fees. So there's this day I saw an advert for a grant. I didn't know that I would qualify, but I just told myself, let me give it a try. There's no harm in trying. Luckily, I got the grant. And to me, that was a breakthrough because I didn't know where to get all that money. I didn't have a job then. All I was doing was just internship, and internship is something that can only gather for your living expense and all that. So when I got that, I managed to pay all my school fees. I managed to pay all my school fees. And I'll still say I managed to do that because I really had a very supportive supervisor. Because when I got that money, he didn't ask me for anything to pay for the research because he was the one who was supporting me when it came to that. So when I got that money, he told me, you're my son, please go pay your school fees because I know you have not cleared your school fees. So to me, that was also a good breakthrough.
Can you kindly share the challenges you faced in your research and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, there are quite a number of challenges that I faced, and the fact that I'm here, it means I overcame them. One, I can say when I was doing MSc, there's this year we led our project. I was doing a project on beans, where we were looking at the interaction between rhizobium, coledotrichum, of course on the beans. We're looking at just that interactions. So we laid an experimental project in a greenhouse. It was not like a standard greenhouse anyway, but we did something. And during that year, the temperatures were so high, and all my plants dried in the greenhouse. So, which means that was 1 year down the line without any big achievement. We had to redo the entire project. We also had to raise the greenhouse, do the ventilations. Yeah, and after doing that, we got some good data out of it. Yeah.
So how do you stay motivated and inspired in spite of these challenges?
One thing I'll say, I'm kept motivated on what I do because I've learned to create the passion in what I do. Because I believe this is the thing that keeps me do one thing every day, because you find that our research is more of a routine thing. You wake up doing the same thing all the time. So that if you don't have anything that can give you a push, you can actually get bored. But when you create a passion of what you do, yes. Another thing I'll say is being curious, observing your environment, seeing anything that's happening around you that can actually impact on your studies, that can bring a positive impact on your studies. You also keep engaging on those so that you have a break from the main thing that you're doing. Yeah, those are the things that have actually kept me motivated in what I do. And another thing is when you're in a conducive environment where you have people you can approach to, you can go to when you feel like, hey, I need some consultant on this. And also having friends whom you can laugh with. Of course, you can have that break from your research. Yes.
How has your curiosity assisted in having a balance between professional and personal life?
Yeah, I think on that part I'm not done so well. I know I'm curious, But one of my friends once told me that I don't have a life because I'm so much into the labs. But I'm not so much in the labs anyway because I do so many other things apart from my lab work. I do sports.
Which sports are those?
I don't know. I play soccer sometimes, but not so much. But there's this other game that I love so much, pool. Just at the rest. We have right now I've moved somewhere else, but initially where I was, there was a pool table. And every Friday evening, I was there playing pool. Sometimes I play alone, where I just put the balls on the pool table and do my thing.
So can you share a funny or interesting story about your research or lab experiences?
Yeah, one funny thing I will say is believing in myself so much. There's this day, after doing a lot of lab work and all that, I got to a point I was like, now I'm a guru, I don't need a protocol. I can do without. And I can tell you that's the day I messed up. The first reagent that I was mixing to my samples, luckily there were not so many samples, I added a wrong reagent. And I can tell you, the humbleness that you get out of that, it humbles you. It really humbles you. And you're like, man, you don't need to trust on yourself so much. Always refer to the protocol. That's why they are there. That's why when you buy all these kits, they always come with a protocol because you need to refer to them.
How do you think your field of study will evolve in the future? And what excites you about this evolution?
Okay, I'll say currently, as you can even see, it's not even in the future, it's currently happening. Agriculture is moving from the conventional way to technological aspects. And in the near future, it's going to even AI and all that, which is a good thing. And we as young scientists, I think we need to embrace this technology. We need to move from the norm. Let's try and adopt these new technologies that are coming when it comes to AI, when it comes to, because I can even say even the issues of bioinformatics right now, if you are not good in these things of computing and all that, you'll be left out. So this is the area that we as the young scientists, we should actually adopt. We should go to the technological aspect.